what happened in the market in the course of the month of March? Or you want to generally just talk about the first quarter of the year?
Let me talk about the March. That is the moratorium given by NGX to quoted companies to submit their audited expires the last day of March, and a number of issuers, we always want to rush to beat the deadline. So there was a rush of release results to the market, especially the last week of March, and there is an array and bombardment of results, bonuses, and dividends that I believe you mean now the market to, if I should use that word, it's a little bit confused because you see this stock paid 25 kobo, you see that maybe the dividend yield is 11%, you look at the other one, dividend yield is 9%, you look at the other one, and there are some, like I think as we still speak, I don't think I've seen a dividend declaration from Okomu. I don't think I've also seen from Presco. A number of people have been waiting for those companies to release their results. So there was much that happened in the month of March. And like I said, it was the last month that was given as moratorium for quoted companies to submit their audited report.
Okay, we go to the business of the day. In the course of last week, Accesscorp lists or got listed on the NGX. And at the same time, Access Bank Limited also got listed on NASD. That is not the end. The bank is, how do I put it now? They are looking at paying an interim dividend for the first quarter. If this is approved by the board and the shareholders of the company, I tell you, it will be the first of such that I've seen in the market. I cannot readily remember, because I've been in the market now for well over 30 years. So most often, when it comes to this that I do now, if I'm not mistaken, I should be in this for about 22 years, analyzing stocks, talking about equities generally. So I don't look for information as far as the market is concerned, because again, these were things that happened while I have become an active participant in the market, so I don't need to begin to Google, but just trying to remember now to figure out if I've had it before or seen it before happen in the market, a company recommending an interim dividend for the first quarter. I cannot readily remember. So if this happens, as far as I'm concerned, except if maybe one company Nicodemously did it. They did it in the secret and they did not come to the open. So, I don't know. We go straight. Let me ask you this question. Access, we have not also seen it. We have seen companies moving. Guarantee moved from Guarantee
Bank
PLC to
GTCO.
We saw FBNH from First Bank PLC and all the rest. But we have not seen a situation where the holding company got listed on the main stock exchange and the subsidiary, the former major company, got listed on the NASD. In Access, you never can know what else to expect again, because it's like they are just thinking, bringing out new things. Go and write it down. I tell you, others will not be follow this process. How do you understand this entire concept?
I think we have talked about Access so much on this platform. I'm sorry to use the word. If I say cowboy, I didn't mean that they are dubious. I just believe that
they are smart.
They are smart.
They think.
You see, I was telling somebody that when certain things are novel, instead of us as investors to start to begin to understand it, we'll be asking that, is this not balu? What really happened is that, Access Bank PLC was listed on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange and was delisted. The Accesscorp as a holding company. And I don't believe that the only subsidiary that Accesscorp has is Access Bank Limited. Access Bank Limited was listed in NASD OTC. And I was explaining to somebody that why they were delisting Access Bank PLC from NGX and making it a limited, they gave you 1-for-1 Access Bank Corp. So which means that you are no longer a shareholder in Access Bank Limited. And if I'm wrong, if I'm not wrong, I believe that most of the other subsidiary will be in the other ones. One is listed. What will happen is that the whole result of Asset Bank Limited will be subsumed in Asset Corp Limited's results in their quarterly and year-end result. Then those that are listed, the only thing they need to do, their result is not supposed to be subsumed. They only pay dividend in that chunk of the shares that their interest in it. You understand? So I don't think it's actually a big problem, and I don't see it's a novel idea, and like you have said, that before we know anything that happened, a number of people will begin to take cue to follow. But the question is, the Asset Bank Limited that is now listed on NASDAQ OTC, is it available for sale?
You see, my name remains Abayami Obabili. The one thing that you should know about me is that I don't hoard information. Okay? For those who are very close to me, they know that I'm very, very open. Between man and God, I had wanted to speak with the management of Access Bank PLC, but I know that it will not be appropriate because, again, there are information they might not want to divulge. So, what I did, even today, earlier today, was to speak with the managing director of the NASD, and Mr. Bola Jomoli took time to educate me. Now, what he said is what I'm going to be telling you, because, again, we might have the opportunity to bring him here one of these days to talk to us. It made me to understand that Accesscorp is the owners of all the shares of Access Bank Limited. So Accesscorp is listed on the NGS, as Aruna has said, and then Access Bank Limited is listed on the NASD. And I put a question to him: what if I want to invest in Access Bank Limited on Monday? And he said, do I have it to buy? Is anybody interested in selling? So as far as he's concerned, until Accesscorp desires or comes around to sell, and at that, they are at liberty. They might just say they want to place the price at 20 naira. They might want to sell at 50 naira. They might want to sell at 100 naira.
Because it's an over-the-counter.
Over-the-counter. So that goes. But for now, the shares are listed. The stock is listed on NASD. Ready to be traded. But you cannot be trading what is not available. So if it is available, fine, it could be traded. Now, with this is an intrigue. How do you think I, as an investor, should make use of this information and this little education I've received today?
I think one of the things is pointed to the fact that there is something that is about to happen in Access that the market is not really understanding now. We have said that the price at which Access is trading, even if the market is even still pulling it down, that is grossly undervalued. And all this that they have put together is that if we get to that time, that the investor will understand exactly what Access is doing.
I hope it will not be too late
we will not see
for
that,
some latecomers.
We will not see that price at 59. We may not see that price at 29. You know, we said it here. I know the last time we looked at the quarter 3, and we were saying that they were just 10.74% behind the quarter 4 turnover of Zenith, and they did 20-something%, thereby making themselves the biggest bank by turnover. So I believe that if you have not taken position in Access, this is the time to do it.
They are proposing an interim dividend.
That is what I cannot understand, because we were made to understand that before you pay any dividend, that will be subjected to audited. So that is why I'm a little bit skeptical about it until I see the details.
I will try very frantically in the course of this week to find out more information about this. And if I'm able to lay my hand on anything tangible, you can be rest assured that we'll come here to share with you. Well, but for now, as far as I'm concerned, Access, you see, I have 2 eyes. and I'm the oracle. All right, what I do with this, my eyes is to see. Access Bank is a good stuff. When you see a company that you really cannot understand what they are doing, and you just see them going flying,
and they are moving forward.
let's leave the rest.